What's going on, everyone? So today we are going to do a capture the flag by PwnedLabs. It's essentially hack the box, but for AWS, Azure, GCP, basically cloud security. And today what we're doing here is one of these labs here. So we're just going to do like a walkthrough, basically. We start here with this entry point. We have some AWS access keys. If we take a look at the scenario down here, basically there was a previous red team engagement. They identified an IP address, and then they've also found some AWS credentials. And our goal is basically to use those credentials and see what we can gain access to in their cloud infrastructure. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to take the access credentials here, and then I've got Kali Linux right here. I'll just do an AWS configure, paste in the access key ID, and then get the secret access key, paste that as well. Region, we don't have a region here. We do have this IP address. Now I would run an Nmap scan against this, identify the ports, but in this case, the scan took like 10 minutes and you don't want to watch that for 10 minutes. So I'm not going to actually scan it. I'm just going to let you know here that it's a website running on port 3000. So we'll go there. And then what we're going to do here, because I don't remember what region it is. I think it might be EUS2 here, but we're going to do a curl command, and we're going to look for just the headers, just like this. And because this is a website, hold on. So we have this website here. We're going to look at the page source, and then this is going to give us, let me zoom this in for a little bit so you can see. If we do a search here for S3, we're going to find that this website, it's not hosted in S3, but it uses S3 to basically retrieve all, like the website, all the contents, the pictures, things like that, that's saved in S3. So we can see that this S3 bucket here is EUS2. So let me go back here. EUS2 is my region, set JSON. All right, now if we do an AWS STS get caller identity, basically a who am I, we'll see that with these credentials, we are the user test. Okay, so a couple things here. We know that our target is a website, and we know that at least part of the web content is hosted in S3. If we poke around this website here, there's not a whole lot to it. It's pretty standard. There is this login page. But what we're going to do is actually open up or start a scan using GoBuster. And so, actually it's already saved here. Let me explain this. So we are going to use GoBuster to essentially fuzz this piece of the website. So it's going to look for, like if you look up here, we have this login question mark. So it's going to go through this word list here, and then it's going to try each of these one at a time and see if they're actually a website that's accessible. And then this -B404, so 404 just means that like the page doesn't exist. So I'm saying, hey, just ignore any 404 results. So we're going to go ahead and run this, and you can see it gets started. It's already found some here, but we'll let that run in the background. And let's go back to this S3 bucket here. So the bucket, if we click on here, it looks like we don't have access. I'll go ahead and zoom in there. So no access. Let's go to the root directory here. And again, no access. Okay, so let's go into our terminal here, and then we're going to type in this command here. Okay, make sure that's the right bucket. Yep, okay. So when you run an AWS command, basically the credentials that you have saved or set up, like we've already set those up, it's going to sign that command before it runs it with those credentials. And so if we don't have access with those credentials, we'll get this access denied. So we're not able to list the bucket with our test user. What we can do here though is we can do -- no sign request. And when we run that, that's as if we're like this anonymous user. So we're saying, hey, I don't have credentials, just let me list the bucket. And you can see that we don't have the ability to list the buckets. So we can't see anything in there. What we could do though, is we can run another command, and I've got my notes down here from my write-up. Let me just double check we're on the same page here. Yeah. So we're going to try to get the bucket policy. So if we do AWS S3, and then it's the API, yeah. So get bucket policy. Let me just run this first here. So again, we're going to try to get the bucket policy. Let's try without, yeah, there we go. Let's run that. Okay, so it does return. And then what I had here before is this output here is JSON. It just is not formatted very pretty. So we're gonna pipe it to, and then I already have it right here. So let me do this one at a time to show you. So we're piping it to JQ, which is, I think it's JSON query. -R is going to get rid of the strings, the quotes here. You can see right there. And then we're saying .policy, so we want to return all of the data within this policy here. And we're going to run this, and it's going to change the color of the format, but not the outputs. Yeah, see? Okay, it didn't change the color. But if we do pipe this again to JQ dot, this is going to make it nice and pretty for us. See, much easier, and it does change the color. So let's look. So the bucket policy, so an S3 holds data, right? And then it can have bucket policies, and those dictate the permissions that one would have on that bucket. So in this case, if we look down here, actually, get bucket policy, that was the exact command that we ran because we got this policy. So it looks like we have the permissions because it says allow any principal, so anyone in the world can get the bucket policy on this particular bucket, which is the one that we're interacting with. Now we also have public read for authenticated users for object. So if you're not familiar, the SID is just the statement identifier. This can be whatever you want. This doesn't actually, like this could say, you know, allow access to everything. That doesn't mean you have access to anything. It's just a note to describe what this section does here. So in this case, the effect is allow, again, all principals, meaning everyone in the world, is allowed the ability to get objects and get object ACL. In this case, on the bucket with these two objects. So backup.xlsx, so it looks like a spreadsheet there, and then a picture. So what we're going to do is I'm going to change my directory. Or actually, change the directory. And then weak bucket policies is what this lab is. I think I have some stuff in here, yeah. So let me just remove all this stuff. And we're just gonna start fresh. So we're gonna do an AWS S3, and then we're gonna do a CP for copy. And then I'm gonna try to copy this file here because S3 get object, I should have access to do it. Everyone in the world right here has that access. So this is just saying copy that file, store it right here in this directory. Run that. Okay, so we downloaded it. Let me clear my screen. And then, so I don't have a program on my Kali Linux box to open up a spreadsheet. So this is what we're going to do here. I'm going to copy this to, I have like a shared folder, media, what is it, PSF, Kali shared. We're just going to copy it there. And I should probably specify the file that I want to copy. So copy backup to this directory here. And then I'm going to open it up right here. So here's the file. If we open that up with the quick view on Mac, you can see that it's password protected. So we need a password. All right, so this is what we're going to do here is Office to John, which is part of John the Ripper. You can download that. We're going to take that backup file and then send it into this text file here. So all we're doing here is we're going to get a hash of this file, and then later on we're going to try to crack that hash. So if we run this here, and then we can read that file, we can see that here's the hash right here. All right, so we're going to run hashcat, and if we look at hashcat, so we know it's an Office file, right? We see it right here, and then 2013. So if we run this command hashcat help and then grep Office, we're going to find Office in the help file of hashcat. So Microsoft Office 2013, and we can see this number of 9600. Probably doesn't make any sense if you're not familiar with this. If we just do hashcat help, and basically that number is the hash type. Scroll up here a little bit. A lot of hashes. Yeah, so we've got the number, the name, and then the category. So in this case, the number is the hash type, and then you have the name of the hash, and then the category. So Office is in here somewhere because we just gripped on that. Okay, so we're going to use 9600, and we're going to go ahead and try to crack the hash. So we're going to do -A. This is going to specify our attack. We'll just use 0. Again, you can look in the help documentation to figure out what that means. The -M here is the, again, hash type. And then this is wrong. That's an old command there. We need that backup right there. And then we have to specify the word list that we're going to use to crack this. And I don't even know if I have rocku. I think I deleted it. Yeah, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use rocku.txt, which is a super popular word list for password cracking when it comes to at least capture the flags. So we can go ahead and do a locate and then rocku.txt. We can see that it's right here. So we're going to do a copy of user share word list, and then we're going to copy it right to this directory. So let me clear my screen so we have some more room. And you can see that it's zipped right now. So .gz is gunzip. We can just run this command here, gunzip, and then -d for decompress this file right here. It's going to take a minute, and then we should have a text file there, rocku.txt. All right, so again, hashcat, we're going to run this command. So it's going to, let's actually show you. So I'm just going to do a head for the first 5 lines of rocku so you can see what's in there. It's just a bunch of like random passwords. And so hashcat's going to go through and select each of those one at a time until it's able to crack the password, as long as our password exists in that file. Okay, so hashcat, and we're going to crack that. And then, oh, okay, so error message here, right? I forgot. So if we go into Nano, basically a text editor, into our, oops, we want the hash file. This right here is for John the Ripper. We need to remove this section because hashcat is only looking for $office, and then the rest of it. And I've got a write-up as well. You can check it out on my website where I kind of dive more deep into like how I discovered that if you're interested. But we're going to go ahead and crack it. And still not working. All right, so what did I do here? Cat hash. Should be the right one. And we said 9600, right? Oh, what did I do? Let me look at my notes here. Yeah, 9600 was the right one. And the hash is $office, $*2013. Okay. We did A0-M9600. Oh, I did the wrong file. So this is the actual file, but we remember like we found the hash and we saved that into a text file. There we go, now it works here. And okay, so it's showing that it did not find the file, but oh, we could actually, I didn't know about the switch here, -- show to display them. How do we use that? So essentially, I had already run this password cracking when I did the capture the flag earlier, and it displays the password in the terminal, but then if you were to run it again, it saves it to a pot file for Hashcat, and I can show you where that's at, but I want to try this -- show. Okay, I don't really know how that works, but if we go and read, what is it? It's saved in, is it Hashcat? Nope. Local. Share. Yeah, Hashcat. And then right there, Hashcats .pot file. Okay, so here's our hash, and then here's the password right here. So summertime. So I'm going to copy that, and then we will go to this backup file here. I'm going to go ahead and enter that password, and as you can see, we now have some credentials. So usernames, passwords, and systems. One of these is web CRM. And we're going to go back to our GoBuster scan here. It's still running. I'm just going to cancel it because we don't need any more here. So if we look at everything it found, images, contact, about, login, in this case, CRM. So if we go to this website here, I think it's control click. I'm in a VM, so I don't remember the shift click. Okay, we're just gonna, well, we have it open right here. So we're gonna remove that and then type in CRM. So this is the directory it found. You can see that we have this login page, right? Admin CRM system. Let's go ahead back to our password list here and web CRM. So let's copy the username here. We'll just paste that in there and then grab the password. And we'll try this out. And it did not work. Hold on. Paste the password there. Log in. There we go. Okay. So now we're in this CRM platform as an admin user. We can't really click anything here. We can click this. But if you notice at the very bottom, it kind of goes away. It doesn't actually lead anywhere. It's just like a dead link. So if we go to view invoices status, that's something that we can actually view. And you can see that, hey, we just found all this PII data. It's unencrypted. Again, nothing else we can really do, but if we export this data, all right, so it's saved in my downloads. I'm going to move this over to Kali shared, which is local on my Mac. You can see here we found that same PII, but we also have the flag. So let's just copy that there. We'll go back into PwnedLabs and we submit it. And 10 points, we captured the flag. So definitely I would recommend you check out PwnedLabs. There's a whole bunch of content on here. A ton of free content too. So definitely check it out. Hope you had fun. Thanks for watching.